Good afternoon. This is the Mighty Marine, Clyde G. Welcome to the Conversation Piece. It's where we get together and have conversations about any and everything you like. I'll be getting a link soon, but until then, talk to a few people, as we would say it on our radio station. Call a friend, tell a friend, bring a friend to the Conversation Piece with the Mighty Marine. And we'll talk about some topics that maybe you have questions about. And sometimes I'll give you some topics of experience, places where I come from and things I've seen. And it might make you understand why we have such a hard time right now with teaching our kids. So I'm 65. So those of you that may be, I'm going to say anybody 40, I'm going to say anybody 50 and back. If you didn't get it when they was giving it, then you ain't got it. So if you ain't got it, then you can't share it. So let's talk about Make America Great Again. What does that really mean when you think about it? Well, think about the kids in America who didn't get to experience those who were born in the year that I came in the world, which was 1960. And things were in a bunch of lies and static then, because they talked about walking on the moon, which never happened. They use all the money doing all the wrong things. Some of the kids need to see the cartoons from the 60s, especially the space and scientific cartoons that they had out. Some of the TV shows we watched had some messages in them, but we were too dumbfounded to catch on to the message, so we missed out because we were entertained. And that's the same thing we have going on right now. We're too entertained. The more entertained we are, the less efficient we become in survival, because it's going to come that moment. So I'm going to give you two movies to think about. One of them I saw today that I never saw, and it made me laugh, but it was sort of offensive to me too. The Destination Planet of the Negroes came out 2018-19. And then you got to go back and look at the movie called Cosmic Slop back in 94. And these movies will put you into the mindset of what Elon Musk has been trying to do for years before we actually got to know who he was going to become. Excuse me. Spending up all this money on space and all these different things that I don't understand what it's really about. You can't get away from us because you need us. Ask the white people. They fall to their knees now crying. And these are the ones that they people probably got too tired of teaching hate. So they got a chance to get a break and realize we ain't who they was taught we are. Yeah, we all have a tendency to blow off the handle when something doesn't go right, and we have to figure out what we're doing. Now, this April 5th thing has got me laughing, because where I come from, when we marched, it meant something. The problem was we weren't allowed to talk about it, because if we talked, you were shot, executed, beaten, thrown in jail. Now, today, you have the freedom to say whatever you want and be whoever you want to be, and you don't come out in a targeted number that you need to come out to get your message across and be heard. And then y'all cower back down in the corner. See, we didn't actually cower back down. We were forced to be in the corner that we were in, because they bluffed us enough that they shown us things that our imagination couldn't go beyond at the time, because that's what they did to us. They programmed us with the religion, the whole nine. So I just told somebody, I think it was my aunt, I talked to her in Cali yesterday, and I said to her, you got to believe in something, because everything else is a lie. So that means if you know, you know. Ain't no need to be ashamed about it, because everybody else ain't ashamed when they do it to you or do it with you. So some of the stores losing money I see. I can't understand the neighborhoods anymore. I've been in some treacherous neighborhoods, and I've been in some neighborhoods they were sweeter than Mayberry, and I couldn't understand it sometimes, you know. But I've also been a street educator. I'm called the street pimp. I'm the public intellectual with the morals and principles designed by our Lord, which means I get my messages and instruction from him when I have that conversation with you or whoever. So when you think it's me, it's him. You'll know when I'm speaking, but we always know when he's in control, in charge, and in command of what's going on in your life. And sometimes some decisions that you make, if you haven't spoken to him before you made them, that's the reason why it went sour. So you got to keep him first. I had to learn that like other people were learning. April 5th, don't go outside, they say. Don't shop, don't do nothing, just don't march, I think it is what they're really talking about. Don't go to the stores and all that. See, we didn't do all that. We boycotted, which was a little different. But still, those things that happened for us didn't. Now, I got a question for everybody. See, this is going to be kind of crazy right here. So, segregation. If you didn't come from that, and you really don't know the origin of it, how you going to live it? You've never experienced colored people bathrooms and white people water fountains. Another question is, where you Latinos and Mexicans and everybody else, where y'all going to the bathroom at? It said color folks. Y'all ain't considered colored. Because I've never heard anything different yet on it. You know what I mean? Where the transsexuals, where y'all going to the bathroom at? So all these things they hadn't thought about, they're trying to put the world in a chaotic situation. We just learned to accept what's always been here. But now we have to learn to accept it. You know what I mean? Because it's forced on us because it's in every family scheme. And you can't get by it, under it, and around it. So you have to overstand it so that you can accept it. I got no problem with the color, with the alphabet people, I call them. I mean, you know, they're people just like us. Some of them need to tone down maybe some of the way that they walk in their journey. But other than that, they're people just like us. Some of them, I like to think at times are better than us. I met some that they were so friendly, working environment and everything, man, I didn't know how to act, you know. But we got to come together. We got to put the people back out. We don't have any leaders because everybody got high. And they gave up, you know. So it's like they waited and waited and waited. And when they said what was supposed to happen didn't happen, well, they got weak and turned to the serpent juice and or the powders or whatever they needed to get by. So they thought they was getting by anyway. And they got hung up. So I like to talk to you and have a conversation about navigating your expectations. This is part of the conversation piece. So we're going to talk about teamwork, attitude, commitment, perseverance, and achievement. So teamwork is the cooperative effort of acting together, which we don't do enough of. And we don't have enough people to stand for the cause if they don't feel like the cause is benefiting them. Sounds like a selfish factor going in between that. And then if you ain't got the right attitude, that automatically throws everything off. Attitude is the manner, disposition, feeling. And if you don't have all that put in together, that causes another situation. So I like to let you know on the scale, the left side is problem, the right side is issue. Don't cross them. Learn them. Commitment. You got to obligate and give trust to deal with this. And perseverance, well, it's the opposition, it's obstacles, and it's pursuing something. If you can keep all this going on in your journey, you can't fail. Achievement. You need to bring a successful end. You need to afford to do what you're doing, handle it, and you must keep everything else around you moving. But you got to put a lot of hard work in. You ain't got no work in, you ain't got nothing coming. They don't teach this to the kids. I've worked with so many kids from kindergarten to 12th grade. And it's not much any different. I don't know who to put the blame on, the 15-year-olds or the pre-K, because the ones in the middle, they suffer because they came up looking and the other ones walked away wondering. You know what I'm talking about? So let's talk about respect for yourself and others. Be responsible, be safe, be positive. All these things count in your walk. It's like money in your wallet. Intelligence plus character is the goal of true education. And if we just sat down and redirected the visions of what our kids see, the conversation topic could be a lot more positive because you can do the show and tell instead of just telling them and don't show them. And then they got to go out and get influenced by what's outside the door. And now then after that, you got a problem with it instead of realizing you was the problem. So read and study and understand these topics that we're talking about on the conversation piece. Because you're going to need to sit down and have a conversation with somebody about something or somebody. And you want that to be good. So let's talk about the company you keep. And you have to consider this. And then there's your attitude, so on and so on. Practice makes perfect. Remember your ABCs. Attitudes communicated non-verbally. Barriers to effective listening and styles. You got the basic problem solving and then the active negotiation. The last one is remembering lots of spiritual guidance and biblical life compass influences. You've got to take the Bible with you for one reason, and this is only coming out of my personal, because it's got some instructions in it. And you've got to find out what they are, what they mean, who they apply to. Remember, living with and for a purpose is you're navigating your experiences for the compass. And if you keep all these things in your mind, you can get by, really. And stay with the positive people and not the bunch. You know what I'm talking about? All these people voted because they listened to the wrong thing. They was too anxious for this and that. Oh man, the mission is what you actually make it. If you don't do your homework, then you can't succeed. It's only as hard as you make it. So if you ever learn the basic tools, that's the reason why you can't execute it. This is the conversation piece, once again. And excuse me. I'm going to do a couple of shout outs before I walk away from this situation. So my female shout outs start out with my sister cousin, Jacqueline Elliott Bess. She's in Baltimore. I got a cousin in Greensburg, Shirlene Floyd. And then I have some of my school friends from the Homewood area and the Point Breeze, like we were surrounded by. Mary Rivers and the Rivers family. Went to school with them. Then I got a couple of cousins from the D. Not the D. From C-Town. Then we'll talk about the D. So Kitty, Denise, and Kim J, Stephanie Spence, these are C-Town people. They're my family. And I met them in that area coming through because everybody knows somebody that knows somebody. You feel me? Like to say hello to my cousin Wanda Beck. And that's funny that I'm calling you that because dang, I ain't never know you had no first name because your nickname is what we always called you, and I ain't gonna put that out there because if people don't know, then they don't know. My California sister, who I lived with and had a lot of fun with, Patricia Covington Douglas, my Cali sister, my sister-in-law, love her. She stays in touch with me over time. We ran across Miss Baltimore Tracy Walker. She came through and we put her on a friend cast. So it's amazing to look at all the pages and some of the people. I got a whole bunch of women on my pages and I don't know why. You know what I mean? I'm married. I ain't outside scouting and hunting and doing none of that. So many women trying to be friends on my pages, man. I had to cut 2 of my pages off, man. Like I ordered some food that I don't eat. Let me talk to my auntie. My auntie, Miss Betty Elliott, and grandma, and my sister Elise, who they managed to stay on top and move around so that the Lord let me find them. And I'm so glad that I have. Let me talk to my auntie Brenda, um, and my auntie Ruth. And I got some other cousins around that are Clays. We got Clay split up, east side, East Coast, West Coast. And there's probably some other places that they're all spread it out. And half of them don't know each other. And I know both sides of the family. That's what's crazy. So I got to tell stories to one side to the other side. Picture that. Desiree Blewett from the D with Sheila Fly. Yep, Sheila Fry. That's my cousin. Girly, we all worked at the school together. Desiree Blue. It. That's right. No, it's not Blewett. It's Blewett, not Blue It, like I made it sound. I'm just joking around with it all. Nikki Matz, how you doing? You're so pretty these days. I wouldn't have never recognized you if you hadn't said nothing. But I look at you, I can see you. Job Corps days. And from the D, Taisha Gibson. Hi, sweetheart. She has 2 beautiful kids that I had time to hang out with. Miss Darlene Clifford from the D, Miss Mika, Miss Ebony, Yaya, Missy, Vicky. Who else? Am I missing anybody? I don't know if I'm missing anybody. Miss Aaron. And so if I missed anybody, please forgive me. I'm getting old now, and my memory is not mine. They lent me this one to do what I'm doing. Hey, Miss Lynette Clay. Beautiful. That's my cousin in Cali, man. Got to talk to her for the first time. She was with my auntie Brenda. They was hanging out. Leonard Clay, that's her brother. Tim Clay, that's her other cousin. Tarita Clay, I don't know where the heck she's at. Then I got the Stamper family, Pam and Ryan. I don't know, they down Cali somewhere. So I get to talk to a lot of people, a lot of people that I don't mind talking to, because some of y'all a mess. I'm going to tell you, I ain't even lying about it. Miss Mika Darby, that's my Pittsburgh niece. And I got a couple of nephews and nieces that she has. And they all damn near grown now, so they wouldn't even know me if they seen me. But I love you, and Ani loves you too, because you're coming along pretty good. Hopefully we'll get to make personal appearances, because I need some of that food. Miss Brandy Washington out of the D, girl, she's something else. I got to meet her. Now she's a mom's mom. Yeah, I love her. So Miss Ginger Perp, Mrs. Pope, Mr. Pope, yeah. So Ginger was United States Marine Corps. She's my sister, and she's also my schoolmate. We went to Holy Rosary together. She's from the woods, as we call it. Now we're going to talk to some of the fellas. Start with my cousin Ronald Burke with the Woodside Barbecue Sauce, which I ain't got none yet, but I know where to go. I still like to talk to you sometime. Everybody alienated me for some reason. You know what I mean? Like I got a bad name, and I resent that. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Because I don't hang outside nowhere and get in it. My name ain't outside on nothing that start with an N. Victor Capone, brother from another mother and all the Capone family. I've hung out in that doorway of many days with the Marlin family next door. We had so much fun. Steve Nunley, what's my man name? Ty Mack. Man, there's so many of y'all I can't wait to see if you show up at the reunion, because I'm going to be there. Vader Dobbins from the Broadhead Westgate area with his brother Dwayne. They was cats that I forgot what Dobb did and Vader was doing in school, but Dwayne played basketball. I remember that. But I remember when I went away to the Marines, I know Vader went away to the Army. It was good to see them on there, man. I'm coming to get some of that snapper, man. I've got to get me some of that. Yeah, Art Giles from 715. Dane James W. Johnson. What's happening, man? Got to talk to you and see you. Hope you're feeling well and doing all right. As far as I know you are. I haven't heard anything from the commander. Dean Wright, Oak Hill, doing the thing. That's my mans in them. So, love seeing you on there, man. Celebrate with your family and everything like that. We still working on some projects, Rosie and I. We'll be in touch, though. Stay on the Facebook page and get on that YouTube and check out The Mighty Marine. That's where we are. The Mighty Marine. This is Conversation Piece Part 1. Part 1. Excuse me. I'm stumbling all over my words and everything. And I ain't even had nothing in me. So, Michael Atkins, my man. We went to school together, hung out together. We did something. I don't know if most of you people out there remember when I was a guardian angel back in the 80s. I kind of toured around for a while. And at night, I was the disc jockey in the club somewhere where you hung out. What's happening, Dwight and Miss Ella? Man, the Wilkerson family. I enjoyed being with them for the few years I was with them up in the Heights. You know what I mean? Glad y'all still aboard. And Miss Etta, love you so much, and I'm going to promise to come and see you soon. Bob Smith was on the Enforcer team. I don't know where you at now. I know you got your bike with you and everything, but eventually I'll find you and run into you as usual. Joe Murhut and his daughter, the Workmeister and family. Love y'all. Miss you, man. Give you a call sometime like we do. Check up on y'all. I'm going through a couple different things on the positive, trying to keep them that way. Kai Cannon. Yeah, the DJ with his man D'Angelo Mitchell. They from the D. What's happening, fellas? Talking about Sean Coleman, Senior. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about my man Kate Beasy. Talking about my man Barry White. Looking at my man Craig Harris. You know what I mean? This is my Duquesne family. People that I knew, met, and we did a couple things together out there. J.B. Brown, my cousin in Seatown, also a veteran. I see you. I ain't talked to you in a minute, but I will. Russell Glamps, Westgate, my young brother, hanging out. I remember you and your sister. We was, I was the guy walking around with the big radio box, and then everybody else started getting their box, remember? And we was always playing tapes. Danny, who else we had out there with us? Fred, what's his name? I just seen him. I seen him on the thing today and saw him with the glasses. Dang it, I can't think of with the glasses, smooth dude. But I remember the crew, all my cousins, Tony and Ricky, and, my crew on the side, the gate in the days. And my man, Jamie Montague, man, you in the hospital, I heard and saw, man. Get well, get back out here, man. Keep your head on. I don't know if you remember that time when we was on the bus stop. We was hanging out when we went to Langley together, and he was picking on me about something one day. And I told him I was going to take my right foot and kick him on the left side of his face. And he laughed at me when he looked up. My foot was up there by his face. He just looked at me and was like, man, I didn't think he was going to do that. Because I was in the karate and martial arts back then. My nickname was Billy Jack. What's happening? Movie director James Quinn. Need my face back up on the screen. And need a couple of pennies from the other two pictures we did. We got to do some more stuff, man. I'm anxious to get out there. Told you I got the experience in it. Just got to get together and sit down and give you some ideas with the ideas you got. The Master D, Daryl Evans from the Sam Q squad, from the Supreme Team. He was the nephew. We had a lot of fun. Proud of you too, man. Growed up, got all these kids. Well, of course, I remember when the kids were little. But they grown now, man. I really ain't seen you. Like I said, a lot of people throwed me away for some reason. Throwed me in the corner like an old shop rag or something. Robin Hall, Sr., my school partner, man. The box is still working, half of it. I'm trying to, I'm still doing what I can till I get where I need to go. But thank you anyway for what was happening. My man C Smooth out there, a.k.a. Tricky Ricky. Always good to talk to you. We talk all the time. Missing Doc Battles and Grandmaster J. And my man down in Ohio, the Outlaw, the Supreme Team, y'all. Billy Salawhite from 715, Veterans in Action. Love you, man. I'm glad to have seen you on there, chilling out and doing all the things you do. Matt Johnson was from the Enforcer Squad Frank Cobb from Duquesne from the Enforcer Squad. Vic Tolliver from the Enforcer Squad. My nephew Derek Vassar from the Enforcer Squad. James Mitchell from the Enforcer Squad. Elvin Hunter from the Enforcer Squad. So that means Andre Hughes, and there's a couple other names out there. Well, we was on what you call police squad, and we worked in the city. And I started with them in '97 and worked with everybody until they all started disappearing and getting other jobs and things to that point. Mr. Squads, have seen some of you and talked to you. I'm still alive and still kicking, but I'm retired. Well, now we're up at my man, Mr. Downtown, Keith Anderson, walking around with the smoothest beard. You know what I mean? It just keeps that thing looking so good. And, you know, you ain't aged a day neither. Won't you know that since I seen you? Need to talk to you and see you. Because we used to have good conversations. Blow Fly, what's happening? Kim Patterson Sr., my partner from Westgate. And I'd like to also say hello to my girl, Ginger Clark and family. My man, Mr. Violin himself, Elder Rodney McCoy from the Peabody. You know I miss my partner, you know, that introduced me to you, which was Hollywood. My man Kenny Reed. We served in the Marine Corps together, and I'm the one that got him to DJing, and you the one that got him to play all the instruments he was playing. And my nephew from Cali, Joseph Covington Sr. I need to see my little Joe, or I like to call him Yo Nick, my little two. You know, I know you're not far from me, man. I'm gonna try to find a way to get to you, come and visit you, see the wife and the kids and everything like that, man. But I'm up in the Berg, you know. I ain't far from you. I'm about an hour or two away at the most, I think. And last but not least, from the Enforcer Squad, Anthony Lee Charles, a man from the Blue Squad. So just want to give a shout out and thank y'all for being involved in the what we call the conversation piece. We're going to have some conversations. I'm going to get a link and drop it down. And I'd like to actually have some conversations with some of the people, of all the people. And we're going to talk about some things that make some sense and see if we can get some answers to some things and all of that. And, you know, we can do this together. I want to put a show out there to help discover some things and some people, some places. And we just want to get it all together on the conversation piece. So you've been jamming and talking with your man, the Mighty Marine. I'm Clyde G. And thank you once again. Subscribe. Hit the bell and the buttons on when they come on, when you see it. That'll help me build a link, because I'm telling you, we got a lot to talk about. We can conversate about anything you want to by keeping it real, keeping it calm, keeping it cool, and keeping it fresh. Because this ain't going to be the station that you get your thing off on. I got other stations for that. So I hope you will join me, because what's going to make this out is the live voices from you, not me. Once again, the Mighty Marine, Clyde G, signing out. Hoorah!